Hey y'all, my name is Abby and today I'm going to be leading you through another super fun yoga flow. I had a comment the other day that said, bring the upper body. Bring on a little bit of inversions, a little bit of arm balance. So you know what I did? I came prepared and that is what we're doing today. So just a little note, if you have any wrist injuries or anything you're working with, modify. Warm up the wrists before this practice, see what you need, and we'll work with it. So with that, we're gonna get started. Just find yourself in a nice, tall, and comfortable seat. Begin to allow the eyes to drop close. Begin to notice your breath here. Notice how you're falling into this space. So sit bones are rooted down into the ground, spine is nice and tall, pelvic floor is pulling up as the low ribs knit down. Roll the shoulders down your back. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose. And an exhale. Another deep breath in. And exhale. This next breath will seal the lips. Deep breath in. Exhale. On the next breath in, we can slowly begin to open up through the eyes. We'll inhale, circle sweep, reach the arms high up overhead, gazing past your thumbs. And as you exhale, we'll take a twist over toward the right. Right hand behind you, left arm hooks to the outside of your right leg. We'll inhale to lengthen through the spine. And exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale, arms back through center, reaching tall. And exhale, twist to the opposite side. Left hand behind you, right arm hooks, inhaling to lengthen through the spine. And exhale, twist. 2 more times. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale over to the left. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist right. Inhale to reach. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, back through center, reach tall. And exhale, side bend over to the right. Plant the right hand down, left arm reaching up and overhead. Notice your armpit pulling up towards your ear. So the left pinky anchors down toward the floor. Chest is lifted. We'll take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the left. Left hand plants. Right arm reaches up and overhead. Wrap that armpit in towards your ear. Pinky tip reaches down towards the floor for 1 deep breath in and an exhale. 1 more each side. Inhale to reach. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, hands through heart center. For this class today, I recommend the use of a block. If you don't have a block, that's totally fine. Just imagine you have a block. So what we're gonna do, if you do have a block, you'll take the block between your hands. You're gonna take your elbows shoulder height. So with the elbows shoulder height and the block between your hands, or maybe the imaginary block between your hands, you'll draw the elbows in towards one another. So with the elbows in towards one another, begin to notice how you're feeling here. Notice the rhomboids, your shoulder muscles engaged. Notice the lats engaged, and even the triceps here are finding a bit of work. We'll take a deep breath in, and exhale, lift that block up overhead, straightening through the arms. On the next breath in, we'll lower the block back behind you, bending at the elbows. Now notice that tricep engagement. Notice the engagement of your lats behind you. Deep breath in. And exhale to lift to the top. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale to lower down, elbows tuck in. Exhale to lift up. Inhale, bend at the elbows. and exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Last one, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Inhale, bring that block back through center. Plant it on the ground, or imaginarily plant it on the ground. Roll out through the shoulders, and we'll meet in a tabletop position. So as you're ready, plant the wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath your hip points. You can start to move through a few rounds of cat-cow here, inhaling to drop the belly, lift the gaze, shoulders wrap together, and exhale, round through your spine. Inhale, cow pose, smiley face in the back. And exhale to round into a nice rainbow shape. Continue here with your own breath. Maybe you invite some intuitive movements, some hip circles side to side, releasing through the hips. Since we are spending a lot of time on our hands today, maybe you start to flip the fingertips in different directions, noticing how that changes the stretch in your wrists and forearms. Taking about 2 to 3 more rounds of breath here, finding whatever intuitive movement feels right for you today. And as you feel ready, we'll all slowly meet back in that flat back tabletop position. So from here, dig into the fingertips, tuck the toes, we'll lift the knees to hover up off of the floor. Notice the engagement of your core here. Upper body is nice and lifted. You have the option to stay here, option to reach your left arm forward. Again, finding that tucking of your armpit in towards your ear, left pinky tip reaches down. Deep breath in. And exhale, lower it down. We'll switch sides. That left arm will reach. Armpit wrapping in. Maybe you lower the knees here. Deep breath in. And exhale, release. 2 more times either side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm reaches. And exhale, lower it down. 1 more either side. Exhale, lower. Last one, inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, shift your hips high. Maybe you begin to sway a little bit here, nodding your head yes and no. Maybe you bend through one knee and then the other. Finding a little bit of movement in this shape, just noticing where you're at today. Shoulders shrugging away from the ears, really dig through those fingertips as the heels melt down towards the floor. We'll take a deep breath in, and an exhale. On the next breath in, kick your right leg high. And as you exhale, open up through your hip, kick your heel back towards your glute. So we're really engaging those abductor muscles on the outside of your right glute. So notice that engagement of your outer right glute as your knee reaches up towards the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale here. Inhale, down dog kick. And exhale, low lunge, step the foot through. Keep your back knee lifted, fingertips either to blocks or the floor as you shine your heart forward. Noticing that nice opening through your left hip crease. We'll take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, straighten through your front knee as you fold your chest forward, staying lifted in the back heel. Engage through both of your legs. Notice your right hip pulling back as the left hip presses forward. Maybe you can fold the chest even more here, or maybe you stay elevated on your blocks. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. We'll flow this movement. Inhale, come forward, open up through the heart space. And exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, straighten and fold. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, low lunge. exhale, low lunge twist. Plant the left hand, reach the right arm high. Notice your belly button pulling up and in towards your spine, deepening this twist. We'll take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, side plank, step your right foot to meet your left, shift the hips high. We're gonna start this exercise a little bit different. So we're gonna lower the left knee down to start, just to find some stability. Inhale, gaze up towards your lifted fingertips. And as you exhale, as if you're giving yourself a hug, you'll wrap your right arm underneath your left rib cage. Inhale to lift everything up. And exhale to crunch it down, working those obliques. Inhale to lift. Exhale to curl it in. Maybe you step the back foot back as you inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. 3 more times, inhale, lift. And exhale, crunch it down. Last one, inhale, reach tall. Exhale to curl it down. Inhale, reach. And exhale, we'll move high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra, flip the tops of the feet. And exhale, downward facing dog. 1 deep breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, lift the left leg high. And exhale, open up through your hip, kick your heel back towards your glutes. Notice that left knee reaching up towards the sky, using those abductor muscles in the outer left hip. Notice that engagement of your outer left glute for 1 breath in and a breath out. Inhale, down dog kick. And exhale, low lunge, step it through. Stay lifted on the fingertips. Maybe you bring blocks here if you like. We'll inhale, shine the heart forward, melt the right hip crease down. And exhale, straighten and fold over your left leg. Draw your right heel over the ball mound of your right foot, engaging through that right leg. Peel the left hip back as the right hip presses forward. Chest melts down. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. We'll flow this. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. And exhale, half split variation fold. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold. 3 more here. Inhale, come forward. Exhale to straighten. For 2. Exhale. Really sinking breath to movement here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, low lunge twist. Plant the right hand, lift the left arm high. Belly button pulls up in towards the spine as the left shoulder blade reaches back. We'll take a deep breath in to prepare. And exhale, side plank. Step the left foot to meet the right. We'll start again with the right knee beneath the right hip. Take a deep breath in to gaze up towards your left fingertips. And as you exhale, round the chest down towards the floor. Left fingertips reach under the right side of your body. Inhale to lift up. And exhale to curl it down. Inhale to reach. And exhale to curl. Maybe you step that right foot back, inhaling to lift. And exhale to curl down. Inhale to reach. And exhale, draw the arm under. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, high to low. Plant the hand, moving through your flow. Inhaling into up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 1 breath in. And 1 breath out. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, we'll hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. We'll inhale to lengthen, halfway's lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slow roll all the way up to the top of your mat. Roll the shoulders down your back as you arrive, palms face forward. Tuck the tailbone down and under. Notice that core engagement. Pelvic floor pulling up and in, low ribs knitting down. On the next breath in, reach the arms high up overhead. Exhale, fold the chest forward. Inhale to lengthen, halfways lift. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step the feet back, holding in a plank here. You have the option to drop down to the knees. Wherever you are, just make sure you have a nice straight spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Digging through the fingertips here. Notice that whole corset around your core. We'll take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower half or all the way down. We'll inhale for baby, cobra, or upward facing dog, opening up through the heart space. And exhale to lower down. Press through hands and knees or a plank, downward facing dog. We'll take that Sane one more time. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top. Inhale to lengthen, halfways lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep, reach the arms high. And exhale, arms down by your sides. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen, flat back. And exhale, plant the hands. We'll step, step, or hop this time, moving high to low or all the way down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. One deep breath in. And an exhale. On the next breath in, kick your right leg high. And as you exhale, step it between your hands. We're gonna meet in a high crescent lunge, inhaling the arms up overhead. Notice the shoulders rolling down your back, tailbone tucking down and under. Notice that nice corset around your waist. We'll take a deep breath in to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, imagine you're grabbing onto a bar above you, coming into a lat pull down. So we're gonna draw the elbows down. Notice the engagement of your lats, your back muscles. As we do this, we're gonna lower the knee to hover. Inhale to reach everything up and straighten. And exhale, lower, pull down. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Finding a lot of engagement here with the breath. Exhale down. Last one, inhale, lift. We'll exhale to lower. Inhale, high crescent lunge, reach the arms high. And exhale, open up warrior 2. Back heel pivots down. Back foot is slightly pointing towards the top of your space. Deep bend in the front knee. Reach your fingertips strong in opposition as the shoulders roll down your back. On the next breath in, reverse warrior, reach your right arm up and back. Deep breath in. And exhale, side angle pose. We'll take the right hand to the outside of the right foot. Left arm reaches up overhead. Maybe that hand is on a block here. Pushing your arm into your leg into your arm. Maybe you take that left arm up overhead. If you're taking the arm up overhead, again, find that pinky reaching down to the floor, armpit wrapping in. Deep breath in. And exhale, gaze towards the top right corner of your mat. We'll take half moon pose. Fingertips to either a block or the floor. You'll get light on your back toes. Stack your hips one on top of the other. Notice your shoulders stacking in one line. Maybe you shift your gaze towards your lifted fingertips. Once you've found a sense of balance and stability, maybe you take your sugar cane pose, bending through your top leg, reaching for the top of your left foot with the left hand. Maybe you kick that foot into your hand, finding a deeper opening through the heart space. Wherever you are, begin to steady your breath, steady your gaze. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, warrior 2, release. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge. Hands frame your front foot. We'll step the foot back into a plank pose. And we're gonna take the feet out a little bit wider here. So again, we're gonna come into a little bit of a drill situation. So you have the option to keep the knees lifted or you lower down into a supported plank with the knees lowered. wherever you are, maybe you take your left hand a little bit closer towards the center of your mat as you reach that right arm forward. Left pinky, again, reaching down, armpit hugging in. Core is engaged as the hips are level. We'll take a deep breath in and exhale, switch, plant the right hand, lift the left arm high. Again, pinky reaching down, hips are level, breath is stable. Deep breath in and exhale, release. 3 more times either side. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, lift, and exhale, switch. For 2, exhale. Noticing if your hips are rocking here, maybe you lower down onto the knees. 1 more time, either side, before you move through your flow, lowering high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, exhale to sigh it out. 1 more just like that. Deep breath in and an exhale, making some noise. From here, we'll inhale, lift the left leg high, and exhale, step it through. We're gonna come into that high crescent lunge. Arms are gonna reach up overhead, hips square forward, deep bend in the front knee. Act as if you're isometrically drawing your inner thighs together. We're gonna do that same situation with that lat pull down exercise. So palms can face forward, maybe act as if you're grabbing onto a little rod or something. Deep breath in to prepare. And as you exhale, pull that rod down as you lower your right knee towards the floor. Inhale to lift everything up, and exhale to lower it down. 3 more times. Inhale to lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, reach, exhale, lower it down. Inhale, high crescent lunge, and exhale, open up, warrior 2. Back heel pivots down, fingertips are reaching long. Hips are nice and open here. Settle the breath as you settle into this posture, gazing over those left fingertips. On the next breath in, reverse warrior, stretch through your left side. And exhale for side angle pose. Left hand to the outside of your left foot. Maybe it's risen on a block as the right arm reaches up overhead. If you'd like, you can sweep that arm up overhead. Again, hugging the armpit in towards your ear as that pinky anchors down towards the floor. Notice that left leg pressing into your left arm, arm pressing into your leg. 1 breath in. And a breath out to gaze down towards the floor for half moon pose. Fingertips to a block or the top left corner of your mat. This time, we'll stack the hips one on top of the other. Flex through your lifted foot as if you're trying to step it into the space behind you. Maybe the top arm lifts up. Maybe your gaze shifts up to that top arm. If you have a sugarcane pose in your practice, you can bend through that top knee, maybe, and reach for it. Each side is different, so just honor where your body's at today. If you do have that sugarcane pose, you can kick your foot into your hand, feeling the chest open. Stabilize the breath, stabilize the mind. We'll take 1 more deep breath in here. And exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge, hands frame your front foot. Step your foot back into plank pose. Again, we can step the feet out wide here. We're gonna do that same situation that we did before. Option for intensifying. So again, you can start on the knees, hands maybe walking a little more towards center as you lift one arm and then the other. Maybe the toes are tucked as you continue with that same movement. Maybe as you lift one arm, you begin to lift the opposite leg. Staying for a breath before you switch. Right arm planting down, left arm lifting as the right leg lifts. Just trying to play around with your balance here, your sense of stability and core strength. We'll move through about 2 to 3 of these on either side. Just notice the recruitment of your glute muscle as you lift that leg. The engagement of your upper body as you lift the arm. We're here for just one more deep breath in. And on your next breath, we'll move through your flow, lowering high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Great work, y'all. We'll take a deep breath in. And an exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Awesome. On the next breath in, kick your right leg high. And exhale, step it through. Inhaling into your high crescent lunge, biceps frame the ears. We'll inhale to lengthen through the spine, tuck the tailbone down and under. As you exhale, open up for a twist towards the right. Right arm reaches back, left arm forward. Maintain that deep bend in your front knee. If you have an exalted warrior in your practice, you can take the right hand to the back of the left thigh, left arm reaching up overhead. Perhaps you shift your gaze towards those left fingers. Deep breath in. And an exhale. Inhale, high crescent. And exhale, open up, warrior 2. We'll inhale, reach back, reverse triangle. Stretch through your right side as you straighten your right leg. And as you exhale, triangle pose. Hinge your hips over towards the left as you reach your right arm forward. Fingertips can come to a block, the shin, or the floor. Notice if you can press your knuckles into the outside of your shin to find the engagement of your obliques here. So staying engaged through the legs, really pressing through the knife edge of your left foot. Maybe you shift your gaze towards your lifted fingertips. One breath in. And exhale, low lunge. Hands plant to frame the front foot. We'll step the foot back into a plank pose. This time, we're just gonna work on our chaturanga. So drop down to the knees about hips width distance apart, hands directly beneath the shoulders. From here, we're gonna lower down to your halfway point, 45-degree angle. So when you lower, notice if you're going past that 45-degree angle, see if you can just lower to that angle. If you go a little lower, that can cause shoulder injuries in the future. So you wanna try to keep your shoulders elevated. Maybe you tuck the toes. We're here for 3. For 2, tuck the tailbone down for 1. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And a sigh out. On the next breath in, kick your left leg high. And exhale, step it through. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Reach the biceps by the ears. Notice the pelvic floor pulling up and in. Maybe a slight bend in that back knee. We'll inhale to stack the spine. And exhale, open arm twist to the left. Left arm reaches back, right arm forward. If you have that exalted warrior, left fingertips to the back of the right thigh, right arm reaching up overhead. Maybe you test your balance by gazing towards those right fingertips. Notice that front knee, is it tracking over the front ankle? Deep breath in, and an exhale. Inhale, high crescent, and exhale, open up, warrior 2. Inhale, reach back, reverse triangle, straighten through your front leg, stretch through your left side. And we'll exhale for triangle pose. Bump your hips to the right as you reach your left arm forward. Hands to either shin, maybe a block or the floor. Maybe you press your knuckles into the outside of your shin as you reach that right arm up overhead. Notice the engagement of your obliques here. Again, ribs knitting down, pelvic floor pulling up, pressing through that back knife edge of your right foot. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, low lunge. Hands come to frame the front foot. We'll step the foot back. Again, workshopping that chaturanga. Maybe you lower the knees. Maybe you stay lifted as you lower to that 45-degree angle. No lower. Maybe you come up a little bit higher if that's more comfortable for you. Wherever you are, we're here for 3. Core engagement for 2. And 1. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 deep breath in. And an exhale. On the next breath in, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top of your mat. We'll inhale to lengthen, halfway's lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale for chair pose, but we're gonna take the toes together, heels about an inch apart in this chair. So if your feet are a little bit wider, step them together. We'll inhale, chair pose, sink the hips low. If you have blocks nearby, I recommend grabbing them. Notice your tailbone tucking down and under, shoulders rolling down your back. Shoulders are engaged as they pull towards one another. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, chair twist over to the right. Reach your right arm back, left arm forward. We can stay here or deepen this twist by taking the hands to a prayer at heart center. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh as you press into the hands. Maybe gaze over the top shoulder. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you take your 2 hands onto 2 blocks or to the floor. This is plenty. You can stay here and still get the activation you need for your side crow. If you do want to come into side crow, hands plant beneath the shoulders, dig through the fingertips, make that nice shell for yourself that we were just working on. And we'll slowly begin to tip the weight over those arm bones. Notice that your gaze is shifting forward, not back. Trying to keep you elevated. That core engagement is crucial here. 1 more deep breath in. And we'll exhale to unwind. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfways lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step, step, or hop, moving high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. On the next breath in, kick your right leg high. And exhale, step it through for warrior 1. We'll pivot the back heel down, reach the arms high up overhead. Notice that deep bend in your front knee. Back heel is planted as you really connect and drive down through the outer edge of that left foot. Maybe you take the hands together, gazing up towards the fingers. Maybe there's even a slight back bend here. 1 deep breath in. And as you exhale, interlace hands behind your low back. We'll inhale to press the fist down towards the floor, open through the chest, and exhale for humble warrior, bow your chest forward. Notice your breath here. Notice your right hip pulling back as the left hip presses forward. We'll take 1 more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, pyramid pose. Plant the hands either to blocks or the floor beside your right leg, straighten through the knee as you fold your chest forward. Maybe you need to hop your back foot up a touch. Notice what you need here before allowing your upper body to round. Again, notice that right hip pulling back, left hip pressing forward. Engage through that left leg. We'll take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, wide-legged fold towards the wide edge of your mat. We're going to square the toes forward. Maybe widen your stance. You can take any variation of a wide fold here that you like. Maybe the fingertips are in line with the toes as you bend at the elbows, pulling your chest forward. Maybe you grab for the outsides of the legs as you fold forward. Or perhaps you move through a few rounds of skandasana, side lunge, side to side. Just taking this time to notice what your body's needing. We're here for about 2 more breaths. We'll meet back in this wide-legged fold. On the next breath in, halfways lift to lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, low lunge to the top of your mat. Exhale, step it back to a plank pose. Option to stay in this plank or to drop onto your forearms. We are going to be playing around with a little bit of forearm stand practice. So if you want, you can drop down to the knees here. That can be really helpful and supportive. Other ways, keep the toes tucked, lift the knees. You can stay here or start to take some forearm push-ups. So you're going to lift that space between your shoulder blades up to the sky, and then we'll lower it down. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Exhale, lift and inhale, lower. Continue here, or if you want to add on, you can step your feet forward into a dolphin pose and take dolphin push-ups. So the crown of the head comes down to tap, and you lift up, down to tap, and you lift up. If you do have your forearm stand and you want to jump into it, you can play around with hopping off of one toe or the other. Maybe you're against a wall. We're here for just 3 more breaths. For 2, core is engaged here. 1 more breath before we make our way up to the hands. Maybe you move through a flow, maybe it's straight to downward facing dog. 1 deep breath in, and an exhale. On the next breath in, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the top. We'll inhale to lengthen, halfway's lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose with the toes and feet together. Reach the arms high, tuck the tailbone down, roll the shoulders back. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, open arm twist to the left. Left arm reaches back, right arm forward. Maybe you stay here, maybe you deepen this twist, taking hands to heart center, locking the right elbow to the outside of your left knee, opening through the chest. Maybe you open through the arms. Staying here, or gaze towards the left side of your space, hands either coming to blocks or the floor. Maybe you stay here, finding that activation, or maybe you bend through the elbows, creating that shelf for yourself as you knock your weight over your arms towards the left. Really digging through the fingertips here. Notice that core engagement. 1 deep breath in. And exhale, unwind. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway's lift to lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll step, step, or hop. Maybe it's high to low. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 1 breath in. And an exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, warrior 1, step it through. Pivot the back heel down, reach the arms high. Shoulders come down your back, pelvis tilts up. Notice the outer edge of your right foot rooted down to the floor. We'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, interlace the hands behind your back, clasping fingertips. Inhale, open through the chest. And exhale, humble warrior, bow your chest down towards the floor. Notice the stability in your legs, that nice release through the shoulders. We've got 1 more deep breath in here. And exhale, release hands to frame the front foot, pyramid pose, straighten through the front leg. Fold your chest forward. Hands can be on blocks here. Maybe you step that back foot up a touch. Again, rooting that left hip back, right hip forward. Engage through the right quad. We'll take 1 more deep breath in here. And exhale, wide-legged forward folds. Crawl your hands towards the wide edge of your mat. You can heel toe your feet out wide. Fold your chest forward. If you do have a headstand in your practice, you can take that here. Get all fancy with it. I personally do not have a headstand in my practice today. Sorry about it. We're going to take maybe the ankles, maybe the toes. Notice your tailbone and sit bones really reaching up towards the sky. That nice stretch through the backs of your legs. Got about 2 more breaths here. So if you're in your headstand, maybe you slowly start to make your way back down. 1 more deep breath in. And exhale, wide-legged fold. Inhale to lengthen, halfway's lift. Exhale, fold the chest forward. We'll crawl the hands toward the top of the mat. Low lunge, step the foot back, and lower down onto your forearms. And we've got all those fun things we did on the first side, but this time it's on this side. So different options though. I lied. We're actually gonna lift the right leg high and lower it down. Left leg lifts and lower it down. Maybe you hold this plank, maybe you add these legs. If you do want, you can crawl the feet forward, coming into dolphin, taking that same lift, lower, lift, and lower. Maybe you play around with it, maybe you hop your way up. Perhaps you've got a nice little wall behind you that you can balance off of. Noticing the core engaged. Play around with your balance. Steady the breath. We've got about 2 more breaths here. Before we all meet back in that plank pose, option to move through a flow, option to go straight to your downward facing dog. 1 breath in and a breath out. On the next breath in, kick your right leg high. Exhale, open up through your hip, kick your heel towards your glutes, and then we're gonna maybe take a flip dog if you want. In your flip dog, right arm reaches up overhead, hips shift high, deep breath in, and exhale, unwind. Inhale, down dog kick, and exhale, half pigeon. Parallel your shin with the top of your mat. Maybe you take a block underneath your right hip. If you notice that your hips start to splay open or that this becomes uncomfortable, if you do have a back bend here, I recommend you take it first before melting down. So if you have a king pigeon and you want to bend through your back knee, reaching for the top of your foot, taking any variation of your half pigeon that feels good for you, your king pigeon, I mean. And if you are taking king pigeon, maybe you take about 2, maybe 3 breaths here before you do decide to chill out a bit, not slingshotting your leg, kind of like I did, before melting your chest down. As you arrive, begin to notice any stiffness in that right hip crease. See if with each breath you can find a little bit of ease here. On the next breath in, we'll slowly start to press into the hands. Lift up. We'll swing that left leg around toward the top left corner of your mat. You can either take your right foot to the inside of your left thigh, or maybe you take a half lotus shape with the top of your right foot to the top of your left thigh. If you have this half lotus and you want to try for a bind, maybe you reach your right hand behind for those right toes. And if you've got it, we'll fold forward. So any variation here, maybe it's tree, maybe it's half lotus, maybe half lotus with a bind, or simply fold your chest forward. Noticing that release through the back of your left hamstring, maybe a slight opening through your right hip crease. On the next breath in, press into the fingers, lift up. We're going to take the right knee up towards the sky. Right fingertips behind you. Inhale, reach your left arm high. And exhale to twist. Left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. And exhale to twist over toward the right. With each breath in, notice a nice tall spine stacking from that tailbone to crown of head. And each breath out, maybe you can hug your belly button in closer towards your spine to deepen this twist. On the next breath, we'll take a counter twist. Hands walk over toward the left, bow your chest forward. We'll slowly unwind from this, crossing at the ankles, plant the hands, step the feet back to down dog, option to move through a flow if you'd like. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, lifting the left leg high, and exhale, open up through the hip. Maybe you stay here, maybe you take a flip dog, planting that left leg, reaching the left arm up and back. Nice back bend here for a breath in. And exhale, unwind, plant the left hand, inhale, down dog, kick. And exhale, half pigeon pose. Parallel your shin with the top of your mat. Notice that your right foot is directly behind your right hip crease. If you do want to take that back bending, if you took it on the other side, we'll even it out. So maybe you bend through the right leg, reaching for the top of the right foot with the right hand. Maybe you come into any variation of a king pigeon. Perhaps the hands interlace behind your back, similar to what we did in that humble warrior shape. Taking a couple of breaths in any back bend before you do decide to slowly release with control and make your way toward that fold forward. Maybe you rest your head on your forearms or on a block. Just begin to settle the breath here. Noticing any subtle differences in this side. Accepting that with some grace. A sense of compassion for being able to move in your body at all here today. Taking the next 2 or 3 breaths, we'll slowly press our way up to sit. You can swing your weight onto your left glute as you extend your right leg toward the top right corner of your mat. Again, left foot either to the inside of your right thigh. Maybe you take that half lotus shape. Maybe you take the bind with your half lotus behind you before melting your chest forward. Wherever you are, just allow your upper body to melt here. Releasing through your hamstring, releasing through the upper body. And on the next breath, we'll come up to sit. You're going to take that left knee up towards the sky, and we'll take that twist. Inhale to reach the arms high, and exhale, left hand behind you, right arm hooks to the outside of your left leg. Inhaling to lengthen, find some space. As you exhale, breathe into that space. Left shoulder blade peeling back. One more deep breath in here. And as we exhale, counter twist, draw the hands over toward the right, bow your chest forward. We'll make our way back through center, taking a wide-legged fold. So the legs out wide. Maybe you take your seat onto a block to help tip your pelvis forward. A lot of people will get stuck here with the rounded back. So having this block underneath your seat can help tip the pelvis forward so you don't really feel as uncomfortable. So regardless of if you have a block or not, maybe you bring a slight bend into the knees before folding your chest forward, noticing that the heels are pressing down into the floor, toes and knees pointing up. Allow this movement to come from a hinging of your hips, a tilting of your pelvis forward, rather than a simple rounding of your spine. And on the next breath, slowly crawl our hands back, extend the legs forward. We're gonna roll all the way down onto our back. So because y'all wanted an inversion focused flow, we are gonna hop into one last little bit of inversion. So option for restorative, you can take the block underneath your low back, lift your legs up towards the sky. If you don't have a block, you can also do this without a block. If you do have shoulder stand in your practice, we can take that, scooping the lower body up as you crawl your elbows beneath you, resting on your triceps as you point your toes up toward the sky. Staying here for a couple of breaths before you maybe decide to explore other variations here. So maybe you want to take your plow pose with feet up overhead. Maybe you even interlace the hands behind your back, pressing your fists down towards the floor, deep opening through the shoulders. Maybe you even hug the knees in toward your temples. Taking the next 2 or 3 breaths here in whatever variation you'd like before you slowly melt your legs down. If you do have a block, I recommend grabbing it because we're going to do a counter pose to this. So I recommend 1 or 2 blocks for a fish pose. If you don't have a block, I'll show you what to do first. So the legs are going to extend. You'll take your hands underneath your low back, your sacrum area. You're going to puff up your chest as you crawl your elbows beneath you and slide your head back. So you're finding a nice opening through your chest. Release through your upper back. If you want to do less work like me, you can grab a block or something to put underneath your shoulders. I recommend having it directly underneath your shoulders. Maybe you have it a little bit more straight. Whatever variation, play around with it. See how it makes you feel. Maybe even a block underneath your head as you arrive. Arms can rest by your sides, maybe up overhead. Maybe you even take your feet together, knees out wide. Or perhaps you take feet out wide, knees knocking in. Just working to find a sense of release in the upper back. Softening the breath. You're welcome to stay here if this is your final resting pose of choice. Otherwise, what we can do is we can remove that block. Maybe you hug the knees in towards your chest one final time, giving yourself a nice squeeze, or even massaging out through your low back. Perhaps you even take a happy baby, grabbing for the outsides or insides of your feet, rocking side to side, before we slowly melt our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Legs coming toward the outside edges of our mat, arms resting down by the sides as you roll the shoulders down your back. Notice the tailbone tucking down and under. Noticing the full weight of your body supported by the ground beneath you. Any lingering thoughts beginning to fade here. Giving yourself these next few moments to simply rest in stillness, in silence, knowing you have nowhere else to be, nothing else to do but care for yourself in this moment. We'll slowly begin to deepen the breath, lengthening your inhales and your exhales. Maybe you bring small movements to the fingers, the toes, wrists, and ankles. Maybe even inviting a full body stretch up overhead as you point through the toes. And when you feel ready, we'll bring a bend into the knees. We'll rock our way on to one side, taking just a couple of breaths here to reconnect with the sense of groundedness, the space around you, and with a sense of gratitude for being able to move freely in your body today. And as you feel ready, slowly press your way up into a nice tall seat. Maybe that's cross-legged, maybe that's on your knees. Wherever you are, just stack your spine nice and tall. We'll roll the shoulders down the back. And we'll end class as I always like to with 2 breaths and the sound of Om. So we'll inhale, circle, sweep, reach the arms high, gaze past the fingers. Exhale, hands through heart. Again, deep breath in, reach tall, scoop up all that good energy around you. And exhale, hands through heart. We'll take a deep breath in for the sound of Om. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice with me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. If you like this video, if you want to practice with me again, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. I'm always open to feedback, so feel free to let me know if you have any preferences for flows. And yeah, thanks for coming, and I hope to see you next time, buddies. Bye, y'all.